So this is the question and answer session, and question number 7 of Bodhicharyavatara, chapter number 2. The first question is, could you please explain exactly how we can dedicate our practice to the purification of negative karma? I can understand from your explanation of these stanzas why it's very important to do this, but I'm not sure that I know how to do it. So far I've just been trying to let go of negative thoughts and emotions and not act on them, sometimes successfully, sometimes not, and to generate more positive actions. But does purification involve something more than this? Actually, that's the very good thing. That's a very good way of doing it. But what is saying here is that you recognize the negative actions as negative actions. And then, if you remember or you don't remember whatever you have, negative things you have done, you make it a point, through doing whatever good practices, whether it's a purification mantra, whether it's a meditation, whether it's a kind of any kind of visualization or another mantras or any kind of practices you do, you kind of take that as a purification practice. I say that because of I would like to purify, I would like to get rid of all the negative deeds that I have done. So therefore this practice that I'm doing may help to make this purification complete. And then one of the main things is that I try not to do again. Now this trying not to do again and seeing the negativity of the action has a very strong connection. Because if I don't see truly how not useful this action is for me and others, and how negative and harmful that is for myself and others, really, then I would not be able to say that I wouldn't do it again. But if I really am able to see it, this is really something not good. It's it's useless. It's not beneficial. It's completely something that I should get rid of, and I should not do it again. Then I might have this more strong feeling, more strong kind of decision that I will not do it again. And once that happens, I think that's this kind of strongest purification. I see it like that. But then, of course, we sometimes we are, since we are samsaric beings, we are not completely under our control. We have not tamed our mind, so therefore it is not always possible that we do everything right. So therefore we need to make the purification again and again. Thank you. So second question is, I have just listened again to the question number 5 of second chapter, because it's also about a refuge. That's stanza 26. And because I found your answer to the second question very inspiring and beautiful, about how we should remember to pray to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, is this the context in which purification of negative karma can take place? That is, in the presence of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in our minds. I think that's very true. That's correct. That's one way of doing the purification. When we talk about the support, when we talk about the antidote, this is the support, and antidote is the positive things that we do. Then, four things is the purification. First, seeing the negative deeds as wrong and not beneficial, useless. Second, the support, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all like those things. Third, any positive actions you do, or even letting go like that. And then fourth, that you try to make a point or decision, or at least try not to do it again. Then next question is, we should have this strong sense of urgency which comes from acknowledging impermanence and the uncertainty of life. On the other hand, we need to practice patience. Could you say something about this? Often this seems like contradiction. No, this is not contradiction at all. Actually, if you have patience for negative things, if you have patience, then doing something wrong, or not reacting when you should be reacting, that's the wrong way of doing patience. There's a kind of, all 6 parameters have the right side and the wrong side, or the something that is not proper. So that is improper patience. It's described in the teachings very clearly. As we have discussed before and will be discussing in next chapters, patience is about not getting angry, and not being able to see that all these negative emotions is not good, and so therefore you don't have to act on that. The patience, that's called the really patience. Then the second kind of patience is that things can be hard. To achieve something great, something very beneficial, is not easy. So therefore, you have to work hard. You have to be, you have to take things seriously, take things urgently, take things, more. You can't just be lazy. This is also part of the patience. Patience is not that you are easily fed up or easily give up. That's the patience. And third kind of patience is that your mind is open enough. So therefore, you can be, your mind is able to accommodate all sorts of arguments, all sorts of reasons, all sorts of ways of thinking. So these are the patience. The next question is, I have a question about suffering. Is it a correct attitude when I experience pain and I cannot change the situation to think at least I am purifying my karma? Yes, and this is a practice. This is a good practice. But the problem is sometimes you kind of put it on others. If somebody is suffering and you say, oh, it's his karma, that's wrong. That's not right. The thing is that if I see or I try to purify my karma by going through it, but anything negative comes, you cannot just, ignore it, or you cannot just not accept it. You can't run away. There's no way to run away. If it doesn't come from the door, it will come from the window or from the ceiling or from anywhere. So therefore, you cannot run away. So therefore, you have to face it. You have to face it. You have to deal with it. You have to accept it, and then you have to, you have to purify it. You have to do something about it. You have to, there are many different ways of doing that, and one way of doing it is to take it as purification. And if you want to do it even more better, then bring all the others positive negative karmas of the same kind on it, and think that I am not only purifying my karma, but I am purifying others' karmas also well, and I feel everybody has been purified of that negative kind of karma. But don't say that others should suffer because they are purifying their karma. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Just by suffering doesn't purify your karma, but sometimes create more negative karma, because if you are too angry, too negative about the thing, then you create more negative karma also. This is when we did a bad action many years ago, and after that we apply oneself to do positive actions day after day. Is there a way to know when we are free from this bad action, when the negative karma has been purified? I don't know exactly, but I think if it is a particular thing, you shouldn't take it like that. I think we should not take too much like one by one this negative. We do lots of negative things, we do lots of positive things also. But if I have found, if I look into myself and found that I'm not inclined to do that kind of negative actions now or again, if I'm kind of free from that kind of doing negative actions, I think I should say that I'm free from that negative action. It's a little bit like, I think, this is my understanding. So if I've been like addicted to something, I've been drinking too much, or I've been, smoking too much, or something like that, and then I want to get rid of it, and then, I don't take it, I purify myself, I kind of, work on it, and then at a certain time, even if there's people drinking around me and, all these kind of things are there, I don't even feel like drinking, it's no problem for me. That's the time I'm really off it. So I think it should be similar. Next question is about the purification of other states. Sometimes someone that we like commit a very wrong action. How can we help him to purify and lead him to do positive things? Through compassion or logical arguments? Well, we can try. We can try compassion. We can try logical arguments. We can, try to kind of bring him or her to certain experiences through which they can understand that doing this kind of way is not good. We can try. I don't think there's any guarantee, because as long as that person doesn't really want to stop doing or want to purify, I cannot do it for them. But we can influence, we can help. Especially, if I'm doing something, if I'm with somebody who is not in doing something not so good, now it's kind of, which character is more stronger. If I am stronger, maybe I influence that person. If that person is stronger, I get influenced by that. Kind of, we all get influence from each other. So maybe if you are yourself doing the right thing and, behaving in the right way, and that might actually help this person, if you create the environment is also very important, I think. So I think that's the questions so far. I am very sorry that I was not able to answer these questions and also send teachings from last some time, especially when I was in Russia. But now I'm back and I'll regularly send the questions, answers, and the teachings also. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you.